Talk 100.3, a very good morning. If you have just joined us, a brand new day, a cool one and great weather. We have got some great topics and great guests as well. आज से Monday and Friday ये दो दिन हम बात करेंगे compliance की. Talk Compliance, which is brought to you by Tally या Tally Solutions, UAE में एक जाना माना नाम, और उनके गेस्ट हमारे साथ होंगे आज भी एक UAE में ही जाना माना नाम.
CA मनु पलेरीचल हमारे साथ होंगे, CEO एंड फाउंडिंग पार्टनर एट ECAG, एमिरेट्स चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स ग्रुप, और कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स पे बहुत डिटेल डिस्कशन करने वाले हैं.
जी, प्यार से आप उन्हें मैस्ट्रो भी कह सकते हैं. हमारी जिंदगियों को आसान करने, कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स को अच्छी तरह समझने, सारे रूमर्स दूर करने के लिए 1 घंटा हम उनको यहाँ से जाने नहीं देंगे. आपने भी हमारे साथ बैठना है, जुड़ना है on 0586861003 and number to call, it's a toll free number 80081003. Let's start with Talk Compliance.
This is Talk Breakfast with Vivek Sunil and Sobia Khan on Talk 100.3.
Wishing you a hearty and warm welcome. What a pleasure to have you with us today. Good morning.
Good morning, Sobia. Good morning, Vivek.
Good morning. We would love to start this conversation with you being recognized as a compliance maestro by Tally. So would love to know more about that.
Yeah, Compliance Maestro. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to Tally, the Tally Solutions. So I'm here in UAE for last 20 years.
Wow,
and of course the taxation came recently in UAE from 2017 onwards or 2018 onwards. Taxation came from that's a VAT at that time, excise tax at that time, and subsequently some other regulations also like economic substance regulation, now corporate tax. The beauty of this one is that Tally Solutions. Tally Solutions always provide a lot of awareness sessions in the public.
All right.
Whether it is in the webinar, seminar, or in the radio or in TV channels.
Excellent.
So they do a lot.
All right.
So now Tally came with a compliance. This is the Talk Compliance. Yeah,
Okay.
Talk Compliance started from today, of course.
Monday and Friday?
Monday and Friday it comes every
9
week.
to 10? Yeah.
9 to 10.
Yes.
Yeah, it will come in every week, maybe for subsequent to that, maybe for one month or 2 months.
Okay.
And you're the
That's-
first guest, so you're very special,
Yeah,
Mr. Manu.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank you so
starting it
much.
off. I
I am honored for that.
And of course, we got used to VAT. When VAT was coming in, there was so much talk and confusions, conversations, discussions. Now
Correct.
it's time for CT. June 2023 onwards, I
Correct.
think it will be levied. And
Correct.
how should one take it? What are in the longer term when you see it for the prosperity of the country? How fruitful and beneficial it is, and what about people who have to go through this?
Right. Then the word compliance is not a comfortable word for anyone, frankly. But we have to comply with this.
Get around
When the rule is there, we have to comply with. The taxation is something which is not a very comfortable word for anyone, especially for business people. But tax in the UAE is very simple and lowest rate in the world. See, in VAT it's 5%, the lowest rate all over the
In
world.
the world,
In the
okay.
same way, corporate tax also just 9%. You see the other countries 20%, 30%, even 40%.
Especially in this region.
Yeah, especially in this region, just 9%. Even in this region, if we take in GCC, taxation in Saudi is 20%. Some other GCC like Oman, 15% and 10% rate in
So
other
that way
countries as
UAE
well.
is
Yeah.
very late to the party.
Yeah, of course. It is also, late to the party, of course. And only one country is left in GCC, that is Bahrain. Still corporate tax is not there.
All right. So it is a great revenue model for the countries as well. Might as well, because
Of course.
anyways they have to pay the same at their home country if they are not paying in a country where they are doing business.
Yeah, the structure is like this. UAE, normally UAE is a place where tax-free regime, and then now only it is turning to taxable regime.
Right.
The reason is that it's not, there is a international organization called
Correct.
OECD.
Right.
OECD has recommended some compliance. Out of that, every country in this world, almost all the countries, where it is forming part of BEPS. UAE is a BEPS member.
Okay.
So they have to comply with the guidelines given by OECD. If there are different regulations related to that, and I'm not going in detail, because of this compliance requirements only, UAE is implementing corporate tax now.
All right.
So if UAE in future there are some other BEPS Pillar 2 kind of regulations are coming. If UAE is not charging tax in the UAE companies, if it is a multinational entities having much higher turnover like 3 billion and all, the other country has got the right to charge corporate tax for the companies located in the UAE.
Oh.
So if UAE government doesn't charge, we are losing that revenue.
Exactly.
So we are also in compliance with those requirements, and now corporate tax is coming into UAE from 1st June 2023. Just 4 months left or 5 months left for an year.
It was last year that we started discussing about it, and
That's
we were,
right.
Yes,
all
20
jittery about it. Ki kya
Correct.
hoga, kaise
Yes.
hoga. But will this replace VAT?
No, it is entirely different. VAT is a kind of indirect tax. This is called, corporate tax is called direct tax. Entirely different.
Just intrigued to know, Manuji, that normally do they have a cap in other countries? Like, for example, in UAE, they say if your profit is beyond 375,000 dirhams, then this CT will be levied upon you.
Correct.
So, does that work similarly in other countries, or for that?
Yeah, in most of the countries
More
it
or
is like
less.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
different rates will be, different slabs will be given.
Okay.
First stage will be 10%, then 20%, like that in India and all. This kind of structures are there. So for corporate different, and then individuals different. The very interesting thing is that here there is no income tax.
Correct.
In the UAE, there is no income tax. There's only
Individual-
individual income tax is not there.
Yeah.
Only corporate tax is there.
Right. So
And
as a
that's also,
business.
that's also 0% for the profit earned up to 375,000.
That's right.
And above that only just 9% is being charged.
So if it's 380,000, so CT on 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Just
so,
for 5,000 we had to pay 9%.
But then the important part is maintaining the book of accounts,
That is
being transparent.
That is very important, very crucial here. Because here people are experienced or practiced in doing the business, not in compliance. So now a lot of compliance came, as I mentioned earlier also, that not only the VAT, not only excise tax, even the compliance requirements of economic substance regulation, country by country reporting, anti-money laundering compliance, and now company laws, the company law also, UAE company law also we had to comply with, and as per that we had to maintain books of accounts. It has to be audited periodically, and moreover here in this corporate tax, another rule is coming called transfer pricing.
Okay.
It's a very interesting terminology for people like who is working in finance.
Sure.
But it's sorry to say, it's a nightmare for business people if they don't comply with. The reason is that if two companies are related, there are certain definition who are related. Suppose I have company A and then company B. If any transaction happens between company A and B, these are the related party, and this related party transaction has to be at arm's length. That's the
Okay.
terminology used, arm's length. That means it should be at par with the business what is happening in the market. I cannot do any price. I cannot charge any price whatever convenient for me.
Correct.
So I have to prove that my company A and company B are doing business at arm's length. So there are different methods to arrive this arm's length. I have to prove that the transaction between these two companies are at market rate.
Well, you
So-
being the maestro, bringing this
Yeah.
first time in light, because
Amazing, yeah.
that is
Yeah.
something we never thought of.
Yeah.
So if two companies owned by one person,
One person or a
Yeah.
group of people, or company A is owning B, or same directors are there in both companies. So all this results in related party.
Okay.
And any transaction between these two has to be at the market value.
All right.
Normally what is happening. So we had to ensure that it is done in that rate. So for that we had to keep the documents.
Correct.
Transfer pricing study has to be done. So there are different methodology to adopt to arrive the figures. So that has to be arrived properly, and documentation has to be maintained.
Now, I think we'll stick to corporate tax as of now. Sorry
Yeah.
to bring you back here, but VAT, there is a certain threshold, a rate for
Correct.
corporate tax also.
Yeah.
So, as a business, I have to pay VAT. I also have to pay corporate tax. This is
Right.
how it works.
Right. As a business, we have to pay VAT, you said, but business is not really paying VAT from the cost, from its profit.
Okay.
Just when we go to the supermarket, who
That's
is
right.
paying VAT?
We
And
We are
customers,
paying
yeah,
VAT.
Yeah.
When we go to restaurant, we are paying
The
VAT.
consumer.
They
Yeah.
collect it and pay to the government.
Okay.
So the business is only an agent to collect and pay.
Okay.
As an individual or any small company which is a consumer is real real payer of this tax. But in corporate tax, other way around.
Other way around. Manuji, it's starting from June 2023.
Correct.
What does it mean? So by next June 2024, the collection is going to be how that's going to work.
Yeah. Suppose a company is, it all depends upon what is a financial year of your company.
Okay.
So every year we have to file the return and make the payment of tax. I'll tell how it works. Suppose my financial year is 1st June every year, June starting to 31st May.
Okay.
Then from June 2023 to 31st May 2024,
Sure.
I have to maintain the books of accounts properly, calculate, do the audit if it is necessary, and arrive what is the profit, taxable profit, then pay tax on it 9%, whatever the as per the
And
calculation.
there's a due date for that.
Due date for that.
Okay.
From the end of the financial year, 9 months, within 9 months, we have to pay tax.
Ah,
So,
okay.
in simple example, suppose my financial year is January to December.
Okay.
When I have to pay tax, or what will be the first applicable period?
June.
31st December?
Yeah, 1st January 2024 onwards, only tax is applicable for me. So, for me, tax is not applicable in 2023. So 7 months I am not paying tax.
You're right.
Even though the law is implemented now and effective from 1st June 2023, 2024 January onwards only I'll be paying tax if my financial year is January to December. There is confusion in the market. That's why I'm stressing it
Clarity.
again and again.
Yeah.
People are confused. They have to pay tax only from 1st January 2024 to 31st December 2024 if financial year is Jan to December.
Okay.
And they have to pay tax within 9 months from the end of the financial year. That means
Okay.
in 2025, before September 30th,
September.
they have to file the return and make the payment.
Bringing
Alright.
so much clarity to this new law, and which is effective from June 2023. And we've got the Maestro with us, June 2023. And we've got the Maestro with us, Mr. Manu. And of course, this is Stock Compliance. It's powered by Tally Solutions. If you have any questions, please do reach us on 05868610003. Number to call us 80081003, a toll-free number. Quickly a break and we'll be back.
This is Talk 100.3.
आप सुन रहे हैं टॉक ब्रेकफास्ट ऑन टॉक 100.3 और आज से एक नया सिलसिला हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. ऑफ कोर्स मंडे टू फ्राइडे, इनफैक्ट मंडे एंड फ्राइडे एग्जैक्टली 9 AM ऑनवर्ड्स आपके लिए आएगा टॉक कंप्लायंस. इट्स पावर्ड बाय टैली या टैली सॉल्यूशंस. और टैली सॉल्यूशंस पर तो हम आएंगे ही, लेकिन वी वुड लाइक टू कंटिन्यू वेयर वी लेफ्ट ऑफ. हमारे साथ CA मनु
Palerichal,
Palerichal.
CEO and founding partner at ECAG, Emirates Chartered Accountants Group.
That's right. और जिस तरह उनको माइस्ट्रो कहा जाता है, completely true and doing justice to the title. Manu ji, we'll continue where we left off, but before that, we have a question message.
So we got a question. My company is already registered for VAT purposes and has a TRN, and can we use the same TRN for corporate tax, or is there any other registration that we have to do? Deepak ka ye message hai.
Oh, Deepak, thank you so much for asking this question, because this is another confusion in the market.
अच्छा.
VAT is different, corporate tax is different. VAT registration cannot be used for corporate tax registration. We have to apply separately for corporate tax. So don't wait with this TRN number for filing the return of corporate tax. So we have to do a separate registration. Due date is not yet known. Portals are not opened. But the law is coming effective from 1st June 2023. So we have enough time. Don't hurry for registration. There is no deadline as of now. As of now, FTA mentioned that you have to register and make the payment and file the return within 9 months from the end of the financial year. So that it will come. It is effective only in 2024 onwards. So nothing to worry about the registration now. Nothing to worry and no hurry. So wait, but you continue using the TRN number of VAT as it is. You have to go for new registration for especially all the companies in the free zone. Everybody has to register.
Right. Now, the thing is with corporate tax, do I need to see that, my profit is this much and then I need to pay and then I will register and then I will maintain my book of accounts? Or is it a good habit to keep everything ready?
Yeah, it is good habit and it is mandatory also. It is mandatory as per the regulation to maintain proper books of accounts as per accepted international accounting standards. So one example is IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. We have to maintain the books of accounts and we have to have a proper accounting software. Without having a proper accounting software, we cannot maintain proper books of accounts.
Is there any product by Tally Solutions that can make our life easier?
Yeah, that is Tally Solutions are providing different products like the Tally Prime, the accounting software, which is one of the best accounting softwares, and it's from my experience, I'm saying, because for last 20 years I'm experienced in using Tally. And there are different products now. Tally Prime, it's all the compliance, especially in the UAE and this region, Middle East and the GCC. So the Tally Prime is complying with the requirements, whether it is the VAT compliance or excise related or now corporate tax related. It's easy way to make the compliance live.
Okay, we were just before the break talking about the financial year, Manuji. Does everybody know their financial year?
Yeah, that they have to check themselves. Very interesting question also, because people are not serious about their books of accounts, some of the companies, and especially in the financial years also. They have to check their memorandum. Every company will be having a memorandum. MOA. So this is as per the company's regulation. The owners signed this memorandum in the court and they will be keeping it safe in their office. Let them check what is the period mentioned in the memorandum. It should be if they are not doing any auditing, if it's a small company, just for SME sector I'm advising, and for large and ITs or corporates and every companies are doing regularly the audit as well. So they have to do the financial statement, make the financial statements, and audit has to be done for that specific financial year applicable for them.
Okay.
So in the memorandum, they have to check what is the financial year applicable. Most of the companies, it will be January to December. Around 90% of the companies in the UAE will be following January to December.
Okay.
Every company, if anyone is having doubt, let them check their memorandum, what is the applicable date for them. If financial year is not mentioned for any LLC company, generally it will be mentioned. In case if it is not mentioned, they have to accept the financial year as January to December because commercial company law prescribes that.
So by default, it will be January to December.
If any other period is mentioned, then different period.
More messages?
From Tausi, we got a question. Mr. Manu, do we have to register in VAT or are we eligible if doing online business in garment business? So as a business, what are the things we should keep in mind registering? Now VAT, do we have to register in VAT is the question. I'm surprised.
Yeah, his question is whether we have to register
in VAT.
In VAT.
You have to, right?
Yeah, we have to. If we are doing business and if
Online?
turnover is, online business also. Of course, he is a licensee and doing business here. He has to register.
Right.
If his turnover is more than 375,000. I'm talking about VAT. His question is VAT.
VAT, right?
Yeah.
But
so
then you
our
have
topic
to...
is, then we have to. If it is crossing 375,000 annually, then he has to register.
Then without a TRN number, how can you do business?
Yeah, of course. If business is less than 375,000, no need to register under VAT.
No need to register.
No need to register.
He has a free zone license.
Yeah, still it is.
But bookkeeping should be there.
Should be
as
there.
a-
Of course.
Good practice.
All right. One more question. How should businesses prepare for corporate tax? Of course, we will get to that.
Yeah, Tally
Yeah.
Solutions has
Yeah.
brought you Tally
Yeah.
Prime. And also they have these webinars where they create awareness, educate people. So we can discuss that as well. And what is the next thing people should keep in mind, Manuji, while they are preparing themselves for June 2023?
So first, people think that since the law is coming only 2023 onwards, for us it will be applicable only from 2024 onwards. Nothing to worry for 1 year. That is a wrong expectation of this. So actually people should have been ready earlier itself. Now at least. The reason is that when you submit your documents either from 2023 June onwards or from 2024 January onwards, when you submit, the comparative figures for the year 2023 and 2022 are very important.
Okay.
You should check how this financial statements are prepared, whether you have any related party, which I mentioned earlier.
That's right.
Whether any transaction with them is there or not, whether your books are proper or properly maintained or not, whether your expenses incurred in the company. Now, what happens? Every company is incurring expenses and they book any kind of expenses because there is no corporate tax. There is a limitation coming. For example, we cannot claim interest expense as much we do now because there is a cap kept. Anyway, the other complaints Maestro will explain in subsequent sessions. I'm not going to cover all the area, but basically there are a lot of expenses which is not deductible. Suppose in my financial statements, now 10 million is the turnover and 1 million is the profit after deducting all the expenses. So in that I might have included some entertainment expenses, some penalty, anything is paid wrongly, if anything, or the managerial remuneration, owner's salary, there and interest. So there are limitations going to come for this eligible expenses.
Okay.
So there will be limitation. And to that extent, we had to add back. So 1 million profit may go up to 1.2 million or 1.5 million. So I had to pay tax for that. So the calculation of this profitability is very important. We had to arrive it properly. So now itself, we have to start study properly your existing financial statement and make it ready to accept for the year, for the properly your existing financial statement and make it ready to accept for the year, for the upcoming years. So comparable figures should be properly maintained, and by end of the year 2023 there is another clause which mentioned in the law that year 31st December 2023, if your financial year is Jan to December, then that figure which you are showing in the balance sheet should be also at arm's length. That means in 23 itself you have to comply the transfer pricing regulation. You said me don't go to transfer pricing, but without going to transfer pricing I can't explain corporate tax.
Nice.
So and with that, we will just go for a little break. Get this sinking into us because Tally Solutions is preparing with the absolutely brilliant guest that we have got today. And that is Manu Pali. Please forgive me on that. Their schedule where they're trying to make it easy and create the awareness. We have got the compliance maestro, that is CA Manu Palirichal.
क्या बात है?
Yes,
ये इस पे मतलब केक काटना. Errol, please 4 kilo केक लेके आइए.
And of course, questions from our listeners as well. Thank you so much. Let's head towards that before the time is gone.
Yeah, so we've been getting a lot of questions. We got a question from Venkat. वो पूछ रहे हैं कि is director or partner official expenses considered under deductible expenses? For example, Ijari is under the name of director's name, and is it deductible expense? There is no agreement under AOA or MOA.
Yeah, here it is mentioned personal expenses of directors.
Correct.
Even if any personal expenses, it will not be deductible.
Okay.
If any company expenses, which is official for the company purpose, it is done, company's expenses will be deductible. But in this question, he mentioned that Ijari is in the name of person. It shows that it is personal expenses. Even though mentioned that it is professional expense or business expenses, but the document says that it is personal expenses.
So it has to be the company's name, the Ijari. Then you can deduct.
And then it has to be used for business purpose itself. And if contract is made in the company and used for personal purpose, again we cannot deduct.
So you're providing a home for the director, that is not a company expense.
It is not a company expense. He mentioned there is no contract. So all this talks about the documentation's importance.
Right.
If document as proof is there and the expenses incurred for business purpose, then that taxable income will be that expense can be deducted from the gross turnover. Otherwise, it will not be eligible for deduction.
0586861003.
So we got a question from Jay as well. My company is a Jebel Ali Free Zone company
Okay.
and does 25% of its business in UAE mainland and the balance is export. So is only my profit from mainland taxable or the whole amount? And if mainland, do I need to keep a separate P&L for the same? Kindly clarify.
Its question is asked by one Mr. J.
Jay.
First point is that in detail this free zones will be discussed in our upcoming session by another compliance maestro. But still, to give you a brief, in the law, we have a new terminology called qualifying free zone person. So qualifying free zone person means a certain conditions who are meeting, then such company will be called as qualifying free zone person. For example, they have to maintain minimum substance in the free zone. For example, some companies open free zone license and then do business by sitting in the mainland.
Correct.
They don't have office, flexi office.
Right.
They don't have people there. So these are the example where they will not fall under qualifying free zone person.
Okay.
So whoever is eligible to be considered as a qualifying free zone person, then their income, qualifying income will be taxable at 0%. And non-qualifying income will be taxable at 9%.
Okay.
So in this case, the more regulation, more details yet to come. We are expecting the cabinet decision to come related to that one, to how to segregate the qualifying and non-qualifying income.
So now there are two aspects to this question. एक तो आपका free zone हो गया, mainland हो गया,
Yeah.
and the other is कि आपका मतलब export हो गया या
Yeah,
business
doing
कहाँ
business
पे
with
हो
the
गया?
military. Yeah.
Amazing है ये तो
Yeah.
मतलब this is like a interception मतलब
And
inception.
Manoj can only he can answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay, thank you so much.
cryptic यार ये
Yeah.
सवाल.
Yeah, it is interesting, and a lot of confusion will be there for the people who are working or the companies in the free zone. There are 40 plus free zones, 50 plus free zones in the UAE, 40 plus free zone authorities, and even we are sitting in free zone. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Media city.
But we are
Right.
in the mainland, easy access to mainland.
Correct.
So the transaction, whether you are doing from here to mainland or the doing business here itself or overseas, doing from this free zone to another free zone, or doing business from here to overseas. So all this has to be separately identified and noted down, and to what extent it will come to the qualifying income, what extent non-qualifying income, and accordingly we have to split. And it is, compliance is important. Once again, I'm saying, even though it's not a happy word, not a comfortable word for business, compliance is mandatory when the law comes.
Right.
And let's also quickly mention, we're also heading towards sports break, the exempted list.
Yeah.
Companies or businesses which
Yeah.
will not be, they don't
Not-
have to go for the
Yeah.
CT,
Correct.
the corporate tax.
Yeah. So we had to divide this into two. One is exempted person, another one is exempted income.
Okay.
So exempted income means, suppose I'm doing a business and I am earning a dividend from another company. So for example, company, I'm the holding company, and company B is the subsidiary. A is the holding company, B is the subsidiary. Subsidiary company makes some profit and then dividend is distributed to company A, since it is holding company. That income will not be a taxable income. It is exempted. Just an example.
Okay.
And if company A, which I mentioned, is holding shares in overseas, another company in, for example, in India or Euro, then that company is giving dividend to company A, which is located in UAE. Then we have to see another regulation called participation exemption. There is a condition called, if UAE company A is holding more than 5% shares in the other company overseas, then this dividend will not be taxable. Otherwise, it will be different. It will be taxable. There are some additional conditions also. In brief, this is the one. So dividend is an example which is exempted.
Okay.
There are certain companies, organizations which are exempted from corporate tax, like government companies, government, semi-government organizations, this kind of charitable institutions, listed charitable institutions who are doing the charitable activities. And also there is a list of exempted people as well.
Right. And also, if you don't earn a profit of 375,000,
Of course.
it would
Yeah.
be considered
As
kind
a-
of,
yeah,
but
it
it
is-
doesn't come under that category.
They need not to pay But
But they're not exempt.
they are not exempt. They have, since if they are a registered company in the UAE and doing business, definitely it is coming under corporate tax.
Sure.
But payment depends upon in 1 year, and luckily if you are not making profit more than 375,000, then you need not pay tax, but you have to file the return and within the due date.
So compliance maestro Manu Palirichal is very much with us, but little time we have. 0586861003. Of course, this talk compliance is powered by Tally Solutions. उनके बारे में भी आपको थोड़ी सी देर में बताएंगे. इस वक्त talk compliance, of course, it's powered by Tally Solutions, and of course, Tally Solutions आपके लिए the various shapes and forms में solutions लाते हैं, be it online or perhaps their guests. जिस तरह आज हमारे साथ हैं compliance maestro Manu Palirichal, and it's very kind of him. जो पहला हमारा ये सेशन है उसमें वो आए हैं. अगले फ्राइडे वो नहीं होंगे. Make the most of him by reaching us on 0586861003. कॉल भी आप कर सकते हैं. Little time left. 80081003. मनु जी, इतनी सारी बातें हमने की. There is more in-depth discussion that you actually brought to our notice, and not just the surface. What about if we fail to comply? Will we be forgiven for first year or something like that?
Then fine will imply.
Yeah. Every law in the world comes with a fine. So no law in this world, in my knowledge, without a fine if you don't comply. So corporate tax is not an exception.
Monetary fine only,
Yeah.
or jail fine also?
There is a compliance procedure law, tax compliance procedure law already in existence from 2017 onwards. In that, it's already there. Both will be there if any tax evasion. So the corporate tax, specifically the penalty related and all, yet to come. So more clarity will be there specifically to what extent, the amount, and then, for example, in VAT, when in 2017
Heavy
the law
fines,
came, 2018 when the law came, penalty was very high compared. 1%, if we don't pay tax on time, then 1% per day was the penalty at that time, and it goes up to 300%. So huge penalty. So we don't expect that much penalty here.
Right.
But why should we worry about a penalty?
Right.
Let us comply.
Correct.
Let us comply with the
Right.
proper books of accounts, proper compliance of all the requirements. The people are asking whether the personal expenses can be deducted. Even people are always asking me. I have my director, whether his salary can be deducted. Can we increase his salary? Whether his wife also can be accommodated as a company employee, or maid also can be accommodated. Related some people we can accommodate and deduct the expenses of them by putting some high amount of salary. So this is a wrong tax planning. It is not it's a tax evasion. So don't go for such things. Only first thing we had to understand that UAE's tax laws very, very simple one and straightforward, supporting the business people.
Sure.
Correct.
So, and tax rate is very small, 9% only. And there is no tax for the small companies which is making profit up to 375,000. Above that only we have to pay tax. So all those facilities are available. And even see the laws coming from June 2023 onwards. Those who are maintaining the financial year Jan to December, they have to comply only next year. If any other country, they would charge for this 7 months, you have to pay tax this much and all. UAE is very lenient and then very friendly with the business always. That's why we all are here. So let us comply the regulation. For that, let us use the best available software also, because government is always supporting the paperless environment strategy always, and then the all the corporates also has to follow that one. So the Tally is giving the solution through Tally Prime, so why not? Why can't we use any of the best softwares?
That's right. And Manuji, how people can stay in touch with you? Because next time I'm not sure whether you will give us the opportunity to have this discussion with you. Are you on social media, LinkedIn?
I'm available in almost all the social media.
Okay.
And then even I can share of his WhatsApp number also. 0505 3838 28. I'll just reconfirm. Yeah, I have two numbers.
Okay.
Don't give your calling number.
Yeah.
Is it this one? 05028
282838. 05
2828?
0505 282838.
Really?
Wow, that's nice number. Would you like to sell it, Mr. Manu?
Yeah. Rather, I would prefer to sell my car number.
Is it
Smart.
a four-digit number?
Yeah,
Is
four
it?
digit, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Just quickly to touch up on this, a quick summary, if you could give everyone, if they're worried about mainland, free zone, what is the threshold? A quick summary, if you could,
To people, first I would like to say the company, anyone is operating any business in the UAE with a license, so they are automatically forming part of corporate tax.
eligible for it.
Yeah, they have to comply with. There are some exceptions, so that's only the government, semi-government. So leave it. The 99.9% of the companies it will be applicable.
Okay.
Number two, even though you don't have a license, but if you are doing a business in your personal capacity, then also the tax will be applicable for you. So even person who's doing business also coming under corporate tax.
Okay.
Number two, if you are any company which you have, which is registered outside UAE, but if you are managing from UAE, then also corporate tax will be applicable for you. For example, there are many companies which are registered in some free zones, some overseas islands like Cayman Islands, where zero tax.
A lot
no
of
corporate tax.
investment banking happens that, I guess.
So if they are sitting in UAE and managing those companies, maybe a paper company, but the business is routed through that, then it is called POEM. Place of effective management is in UAE, because directors are sitting here, business decisions are being taken here, operation is happening from here. Then that company located in overseas also coming under corporate tax here.
Nice.
So by considering this one, straightforward, you have to consider that you are coming under corporate tax from this year, June 2023 onwards.
Alright.
Check your books of accounts, check your memorandum, what is the financial year. If it is coming from next year, January 2024, then make sure that you are complying with the taxation from there.
Okay.
Registration you can do later, nothing, it need not be done now, you can wait.
Okay.
But at the same time, proper books of accounts are to be maintained. You have to close the books of accounts properly this year and make sure that you are complying with all the requirements. And in the name of tax planning, don't commit any tax evasion planning.
Okay.
Because don't incur more expenses personally. Don't put your personal expenses to business. Don't think that you don't play over smart. Frankly.
For example, you have 5 cars, you go and get 10 more cars.
Yeah, and register. The personal expenses should not be put in the company expenses.
Fuel expenses.
Yeah, those things,
all
yeah.
this, you've increased it so much.
Yeah.
Don't try to do
Don't
that.
try to do it.
UAE is helping
You will
all
mess
of us
up
to
big
flourish.
time. Yeah.
UAE is helping us to do the business
Flourish,
here.
yeah.
This is a minimum, very small rate of 9%. And then compliance aspects also not as complicated as other parts of the world.
Okay.
Simple gateway for return filing also, it will be simple. You have to take care in the first 2 years, that is 2023 and 2024, very much to make sure that you are complying all the requirements of the regulation.
Yes, that's the aim. All the businessmen stay happy right here in UAE. That's what they're driving you towards. And Tele Solutions making it even more simpler and connecting you even stronger. So if anyone wants to get started with Tele Prime, that's the product of Tele Solutions. And Tele Prime will manage your business and compliance. You can call 800 Tally, that's 800 Tally, that is 800-82559, or simply you can go to their website, that's tallysolutions.com, and take a free trial. And meanwhile, Manuji, thank you so much. You have given your number. If anybody is interested, we can always WhatsApp to them. And please, you want to say something?
Yeah, of course, the number is given, the WhatsApp number is given, but I'm available in all other social media like YouTube. We are releasing a lot of videos, awareness videos, so they can come to Emirates Chartered Accountants Group YouTube channel or any other social media channel and watch our videos.
Like
in the same way,
Instagram
Tally Solutions also uploading a lot of videos, webinars, seminars, so they can...
A lot of events, I think.
lot of events are
Yeah,
connected. So Tally Solutions also they
Amazing,
can-
yeah. Emirates Chartered Accountants Group has around 13,000 subscribers already, which is fantastic.
And now growing.
Amazing. I'll subscribe right away.
Manuji.
Thank you so much.
And one question before we go. Since corporate tax, VAT was introduced, corporate tax, should I be worried about, as a salaried employee, about income tax as well?
Nothing to worry.
for now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the news and the good news, Manuji. What a pleasure indeed to start with you, and so happy that you joined us today in the studio. All courtesy Tally Solutions in Talk Compliance. This is every Monday and Friday 9 a.m. onwards.
Thank you so much, Manuji.
Thank you, Sobia, and thank you, Vivek.